girly pops.
Oh.
Sorry, I literally call everyone there.
Oh.
Heart. Anyway, ... About 6 months ago, I got absolutely blackout drunk in my local Spoons. Have I said this here? And just kept the tequila shots coming from there.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember a good chunk of the night as I was mortaled.
Shout out, Chunks.
Mortals. I'm not an alcoholic. I just don't know when to stop.
Oh, God. I'm worried.
But unfortunately, I do remember some of the night. I suppose a good thing. I was in the club and spotted a boy the other side of the club who was a failed talking stage.
Oh.
He was talking to another girl who I know
yeah.
he's currently shagging.
Oh.
I've never said the word shagging before. Shagging. Side note, best of luck to her. He's a character.
Oh.
This is me. Anyway, I made eye contact and immediately looked away. Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Yes, please.
All right.
Doing a great job, by the way.
No, just stop there.
Fill in the blanks. I can't remember if we spoke as the whole night is a little blurry. However, one thing led to another and I started whining on him.
Oh.
It's giving Notting Hill Carnival. Not my proudest moment. And he ended up grabbing my face and we made out in the dance floor. Oh, in front of all her family and friends. No, in all her friends. Don't know why her family would be there. I left a little after that and I haven't spoken to him since. Because what do I even say? Like, nice kiss. Let's do that again.
Yeah?
You could
say
probably say that, yeah.
Yes.
Life's a risk, innit? Life's a risk. The next day I also found out he got with 3 other girls the same night.
Wow.
Yes, I am a victim. This all happened a good while ago now, but I keep getting awful flashbacks. I genuinely lived a week with the worst anxiety I've ever felt. This is me. Sorry that was so long-winded, but I needed to say my piece. So, do either of you experience these flashbacks that you hate yourself for, and how do I make them stop? Now, we're going to then move on to the last paragraph, which says, completely off track, but I think you're both such well-rounded characters.
You are very well-rounded, aren't you?
Oh,
He's working on it, though. He's working on
I
it.
definitely read that ahead of time. I was thinking of that. Fuck you.
And brings so much joy to... Do you know what? This is true. And brings so much joy to people's lives.
Oh, wow.
More than you'll ever know.
Oh.
Oh, also, I have the same scar as George.
Oh.
We're both victims to a certain
On the
bite.
scrote? Oh.
Oh. And eating curb incident. Lots of love. I did that.
Wow.
Okay.
So that was
Worst case of anxiety, gang, I think
She's
is the question
basically
there.
asking, do you get scared after nights out?
I do that thing where I remember something that I did, and I only think about it late at night, and then it keeps me up at night. Like, it does genuinely keep me up for like an extra.
You keep me up at night.
Yeah, I bet I do. I hope. Talking about winkies. Yeah. I don't know.
And that's that, guys. Thanks for listening.
But yeah, I defo do that, and I guess that the way I don't know how to get over it because I've never done it. So.
But you do a thing where you don't just remember what you did last night. You also can just quickly check your profile and see what you did last night.
Very true.
I absolutely do not post anything when drunk.
See, when I first started, my
skill?
most viral videos were me absolutely off my.
That's his whole career. So he.
Were you in a taxi or something?
Yeah, that
Would you put your
that
phone on the
Scottish
taxi?
woman. Yeah, I put my phone on the
Yeah, I
taxi,
remember that.
and then the Scottish woman came over to me, and I was trying to give some sort of like emotional speech on how people should have more self-confidence. Don't know why anyone needed that outside McDonald's at 5 a.m. But anyway, and this woman came up to me, and in a Scottish accent, she was like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Yeah," and she went, "Piss off." And then I just turned around and I just like lost it at her, and I was like, "You piss off." And she just got into a taxi and said nothing else. It was like cinematic. Yeah, it was Becky.
Wow.
And from that moment, because that's what got me signed to a management, weirdly. Don't know why.
What, that video?
Yeah, because I gained like 150,000 followers overnight just off that
Did
video.
it bang? Well, no, imagine.
Yeah.
5 views.
I don't know why people saw that and thought, oh, I need to follow this guy though. Like, what about that was like...
These days, that people would see that and go, that's a funny video, but I guess it's just like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, oh, I need to follow him.
Do you know the first video I saw of you?
Oh, God.
And I think it's so out of character now because I can't imagine you doing it. You were walking down the street like singing or something
Oh, yeah, I used to do that.
in broad daylight.
I was wild back
I was
in the
like,
day.
I can't.
I used to
what
belt
happened?
songs like
He's
by
gone in
myself,
and
just
media
like...
trained, that's the problem.
Yeah.
No, I think I just gained a bit of self-respect.
Just a
little
sorry,
bit.
circling back to Hangxiety.
As we do.
I've got a problem.
Oh, God.
I've trained myself so much now to not post anything, to not text anyone, to the point where I wake up I can't get embarrassed anymore. So I could do the worst thing. Like, for example, the America trip.
Oh, didn't know you went there.
There's a lot of things that happened. No, I'm joking. There was a lot of beverages consumed. And the next morning, everyone was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I'd be like, funny though, isn't it? Funny though. And I just don't understand. So I think maybe I'm not the right person to ask. George, do you get anxiety?
Occasionally, but I don't ever really get drunk
don't.
enough.
No, I can't.
Do you not?
Honestly, Becky, he pisses me off so much. Don't appease him right now.
Do you sort of just have a little beverage?
No, he's one of those people that for whatever reason, some boys that will never admit that, like, number one, they're drunk, and number two, that he's had a hangover. I've seen George look like he's a gust of wind away from, like, bursting into tears when we've had, like, 3 hours sleep. He's consumed an insane amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, just been to the gym, feeling absolutely
Oh,
fine.
they go gym.
But, like, he would never admit that he actually is hungover, and it makes no sense.
It's not a case of not admitting it. I genuinely do feel okay.
Oh, dickhead.
I don't understand how that's good.
And he's like, I've never been drunk. Meanwhile, I've seen him.
I've not said I've never been drunk. I've said I don't often.
What did you just say?
I said, if you can go back and check this, I don't often get to a point where
I've actually said that.
you can go back and check it if you like.
Boring.
I've got like the other day I was looking at my lock screen and for some reason I was scrolling and there's a picture of you with candle wax all over your face in heaven.
Oh my god, yes!
Oh my god,
yes! It was Freedom. We went to Freedom, and for some reason there was a candle on the table, and Max kept it was with melted wax on the top. And he'd just be pouring it all over.
And it was drying onto his skin, so it looked quite dodgy.
I so severely forgot about this until you just said that. It was actually this is such a throwback because it was during the time when you couldn't actually stand up in clubs because COVID restrictions were still a little bit in place. So we were sat on a table in Freedom. And because like they don't really have like tables and stuff. I remember we were sat on this table, and I grabbed the candle and poured it on my face.
Who was there? Sam Sings.
Yeah, just us four.
Us four at random. And do you remember what happened when I came to meet you guys? This is such a core memory.
I do.
Every time I'm in Soho, I laugh.
I do think we remember. Go on.
As a couple, I think we do probably remember that. You text me saying this is where we are, and I looked up and it was like some sort of like lesbian club. And I went, oh, very funny. He's really, but you were actually in the place next door, and I was outside going like, because I thought you were looking at me through like the window.
I do remember we were at a bar in Soho. It
was the one next door.
So iconic. That's probably around the time that I asked George to do the podcast with me.
To marry him.
Yes, to marry him.
I asked George the big question. I think that's the first time I met you.
Yeah, it was. I'd never met you
because I walked in and you were surrounded by like rugby lads, and I was like, this is so strange. Why was that?
It's a weird position.
Because I was there.
I know, yeah. No, I think they all recognise you as something.
Yeah, probably. That makes more sense than what George just said. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I remember meeting you, and the description that they gave of you before you got there was, I think, she drinks a lot.
Yeah.
She's just basically like a man with a wig on. Not personality, looks. I think that they just said like, oh yeah, like our friend Becky's coming, she's like really fun. And how weird is it that
really fun.
I recognized you not from any of your YouTube stuff, but from a tweet that you'd done about being at the Brits with Taylor Swift was there. How crazy is that?
Was a good one. A girl with curly hair walked past at the Brits, and I took like a shaky picture. And it looked like Taylor Swift was running away from me.
Yeah.
Like she actually was like running as well. That was a really good one. The
crazy.
Brits.
No, but I just remember thinking that you were really lovely and you were very funny. And I was wrong.
And God knows we were wrong.
You have a tendency to flirt with our guests.
I do. I am who I am. Well, Becky, I think it's safe to say that we gave that person amazing advice, i.e. we gave them none.
Hell yeah.
But this is the useless hotline.
No, honestly, I think if you choose to be embarrassed, you'll be embarrassed.
Being embarrassed is a state of mind.
It's a state of mind. Everyone around you can be embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
That is factual. If you choose to be embarrassed, you will be embarrassed.
You actually can.
You can. I think so.
That's a really great bit of advice.
And also, whatever's funniest, I always say that.
There we go.
Because if you do something ridiculous the night before you go, whatever's funniest, I'm right. And everyone goes, oh, yes.